Summertime and the living is easy. Welcome to the Friday Value video. Do you remember George Gershwin's Summertime and that first dreamy line? I love that song, and whenever I hear it, I feel like I breathe a little slower and my senses heightened, take in all the wonder around me. But even though this song can make it seem like time slows down for summer, we all know the reality is 1 minute it's barbecue time on Memorial Day, and the next minute it's time to close the pool before the leaves turn and drop in the water. Summer is over in a New York minute like it was sucked into a vortex. To me, summer isn't just about lazy afternoons and watching lightning bugs while sitting on the deck. There are some precious things we only do in summer. Things like a walk to see the sunset, a picnic with family, chasing butterflies with your grandkids, or a drive-in movie with the kids perched on lawn chairs in front of the car. All those special summer moments worth savoring. But how can we slow time down? Why can't we preserve this feeling all year round? Time flies or time drags? Did you know that science has determined that the way we experience time, this is what psychologists call subjective time, is deeply affected by how we spend the time? Objectively, of course, a minute is always a minute. It's 60 seconds, no matter what way you look at it. But subjectively, what's happening in what could be called our mind time is far more flexible. I was reminded of this by reading a beautifully written newsletter by Jim McCann. He's the founder of 1-800-Flowers. He writes some wonderful newsletters, so I would encourage you to go to that website and sign up for them. But the first time I heard about how we're capable of perceiving time subjectively, not just objectively measuring it, was by Dan McCollam in the book Bending Time. I'll share more about his book maybe at another time, no pun intended. But for now, let's focus on why time feels so slippery, as Jim calls it. Decades ago, there was a psychologist named Robert Ornstein who conducted a series of experiments. We're talking back in the 70s, showing that when people are exposed to more sensory information, more complexity, and more variety, they perceive time as longer. For instance, participants listening to tapes with more frequent and varied sounds believed more time had passed than those who listened to simpler recordings, even though both tapes were exactly the same length. In other words, the more newness and richness we experience, the more frames our mind captures, and the fuller our memory log becomes. This explains why childhood summers filled with firsts, like your first bike ride, your first vacation, your first Little League game, your first fireworks, seem to stretch on forever. Our brains were constantly being jump-started by newness, all those firsts that we remember. So, why does time seem to speed up as we age? And how can we slow time down? That's next week. For now, preserve the summer spirit so you can have lifelong well-being. I'll see you next week.